Hey guys, welcome to another live. I hope you guys are well and you're enjoying good health. This live is a little bit late today, but it's all right. Let's get to the live. So today we're talking about why is African Americans, diaspora people, crying on the continent of Africa. Yes, there's a lot of crying and complaining happening on the continent of Africa, and we are going to talk about that. We're going to delve deep into what is happening because many of us, Black Americans, Canadians from the Caribbean, whichever island or country we hail from, and we go on the continent of Africa, we relocate there, or we go take a vacation, or we just, retire or something like that. Everybody has a story and they can tell you something has happened to them. So, the first thing I want to say is one of the biggest problem, problem number one of the biggest problem that us who has not been born or lived on the African continent, but we have been taken by slavery on slave ships, our ancestors, and we are the descendants of our ancestors, we have not lived there. So we do not know the cultural dynamics. What you see on TV, it's not like something you can say, okay, that's my experience. You have to actually meet people, talk with them, have an experience with them to see what kind of person or kind of people they are. And I think we watch a lot of YouTube. Uh, we know we consistently researching things as we out here in the West, preparing to move over on the continent of Africa. And that's something that we fail to realize. Now, a lot of Africans who live in on the continent of Africa, they do not know the history of slavery. They do not. Now maybe 60% of them know that, but there's 40% who does not know the history of slavery and they don't understand these things. So when you go there and you tell them these things, it's like they're surprised. Or sometimes they may be a little bit off with you, or you may feel they're against you, but it's because they don't know. They don't know. And it's up to you to tell them these things. And don't get so offended sometimes if they treat you in a certain way, because the majority of them, they're nice, but a lot of them, they just do not know the history. And it's very sad because this history is not being taught in all those schools on the continent of Africa, because the curriculum that is on the continent of Africa is a Western curriculum. It's a Western curriculum. And how do I know that? It's because I've applied for so many jobs on the continent of Africa. When you apply for a job in an international school or in any school whatsoever, you get an interview online. You see the person who's going to interview you, and then they tell the curriculum that they teach. So they break down the curriculum. They ask you, are you familiar with that? They explain stuff to you. So this is how I come to a greater understanding of the curriculum that is being taught there. And a lot of these things are not being taught in school, because me, whenever I do an interview, I ask a lot of questions and I want to know stuff. Plus I go do my research and things like that. So I'm very versed when it comes to that kind of stuff, because like all of you watch my channel, my intention is to go and live on the continent of Africa. So I need to know their system and know how things work there, and if that's going to be suitable for me and my family. So that's number one. Now I know some of you get all upset and say, well, that I'm a Black person looking like them, whatever, whatever. But you have to realize is that the African society has been colonized for a very, very long time by European people. And a lot of things that we know because we are out here in the West among these people, they don't know it. And sometimes we have to be a little bit lenient when it comes to certain behaviors that they portray, and we don't have to take it too hard too much. It's like we come from the West and we expect them to be like embracing us. But if they don't know anything about us, why would they embrace us, right? So I'm talking about people who do not know. So they don't know anything about us. They don't know about the history of slavery. They don't know about all the sufferings that we've been through. So why would they be sympathetic to you? They think you're just like a regular person, right? But for those who know the history, of what happened to us and they're behaving in this manner, there is no excuse. You have no excuse to make because you know what happened. You know the history, you know what happened. And what we have to realize is as diasporas is that everywhere you go, there's positivity and there is negativity. Everywhere you go, there's people who live outside of the box and there's people who live inside the box. It doesn't matter what. Everywhere you go, there's evil people and there's good people. Everywhere you go, there's people who just does not want to change. It doesn't matter what you tell them or what you show them. They don't want to change, just stick in their ways. And sometimes we from the West out here who lived out here, we don't we kind of get mad and we don't want to accept that. But when you move to the continent of Africa, you have to accept a lot of things. And if you're not willing to accept that, yes, you will be crying lot, a lot. You'll be upset. You'll be like, mad at these people. But what you have to understand is these people that you're mad at, they are your distant relative. Let's just make an analogy. So say, for example, I was a slave on the continent of Africa and I come from maybe Guinea, or not Guinea, I come from Kenya. And how many generations and generations have passed? 400 years of slavery have passed. But that doesn't mean to say that my lineage has disappeared. I still have my lineage. If I was related to somebody named Mr. Kuba, my bloodline from that Mr. Kuba is still continuing on and on and on to that generation up till now. So the bloodline is still there. And what the people on the continent of Africa have to realize is the people that you're rejecting, that could as well be your family member. That could have been your long last ancestors from 400 years ago. And when you reject diasporas, you could be rejecting one of your own relative. And that is something like we have to talk about because we are related. I went to a store, an African store here in Canada. Now, my friend told me about it. She came to my house and we were talking about some things. And she's African. And she was telling me, oh, I just buy African products because I don't like Canadian stuff. So I just find African stores and I buy my food and all kind of stuff. And I wasn't aware of certain things. And she said, oh, you can buy this here, you can buy this here. She said, oh, there's a new store that opened across the street. You can go buy your stuff there. So I took her word and I went. And as soon as I entered the place, the lady, she hailed me. She's like, oh, you're from that tribe? You from tribe of whatever. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, welcome. I'm like, no, this is not my tribe. She says, what are you talking about? No, you're from this tribe or something there in Nigeria or something. She told me. She called the place name, the exact location of the place. She called the exact location of the place. And I'm like, no. And she says, are you pulling my leg? Are you joking? You're just joking. I said, no. And I felt bad because I was like, she says, oh my gosh, you look exactly like these people. And she's telling me the place name and everything like that. And then she said, you know what? We are one people and we all come from the continent of Africa. And if you travel to the continent of Africa and they see you, they would definitely know that you're from this tribe. You see what I mean? So you are rejecting your own people. Some people, they see you and they know. It's like they know, no. It's like in my family, we have something on our toe, on our small toe. And that is something we use for generation to say, like, if somebody, is that my baby? Like when somebody have a baby in our family, we look at the toes and we say, yeah, they have the thing on their toe. That's our family member. It's like a mark. Certain people, they can tell you that you are from this place or that place because it's just something that is inside them. They know. So when you reject your people who comes there, who relocate there, who come there on vacation or whatever, and you treat them in a certain way, you are rejecting your family members, And the funny thing is, sometimes you meet somebody, they could be a relative and the spirit that is in them is connecting with you. And that person could be the best person you ever met, and you could have a like develop a relationship and do so much things together and change. You could change history just by reconnecting with your ancestors. And that is a narrative we have to push when we go on the continent of Africa, to educate the people who are there who does not know about what happened in slavery, who doesn't have a lot of information. They may have a little bit of information, but you just let them know. You talk to them like that. Don't be so quick to get angry. Don't be so quick to get mad when they react to you in a certain way. Now, another thing why Black Americans and diasporas are crying is because of the high price business. Now, I think when you charge somebody a high price because you know they're American or Canadian, they come from foreign, they come from the West, like you're a dishonest person. Honestly, I'm just going to say it straight down. You are a dishonest person. It's just dishonesty. You are a local person and you're charging somebody 5 shillings, say for like, I don't know, 5 bananas or something. You're charging them 5 shillings. And then a foreigner, which they call us, come and say, I want that 5 shilling. We open our mouths and we talk English, because most of the places you go to Ghana, they speak English. You go to all other countries, they speak English. But if you go to a country like Kenya, or you go to a country like Tanzania and they speak Swahili, you may not speak Swahili. So you open your mouth and they hear English come out. Oh, she's a foreigner. And then they say, okay, it is 12 shilling for the same banana. That is 5 shilling. Now, this is dishonesty, because you know in your heart that the banana is not the cost, and you're trying to rob somebody, and that is ungodliness. And we have to talk about those things and let them know that this is not correct. And I understand when, diasporas, they get mad about that, because who wants to pay twice the price or 1.5 times the price of something when it's not that price? So that dishonest spirit gotta go. And the only way that's gonna go is by us talking about it and saying, listen, we're not gonna accept it. So a lot of people move to foreign countries, and a big mistake they make is they don't know the language. If you're gonna go to a country like Togo and live there, you don't speak a word of French, you're gonna have problems. If you're gonna go to Togo, make sure you learn some French. For example, bonjour, hello, comment ça va? How are you? Ça va bien, merci. I am fine, thank you. And you're going to learn some words of things. Est-ce que tu, votre maison, is that your house? Huh? Est-ce que tu, magasin? Where is the store? You learn different things of the language. You're gonna learn the houses, the maison. You're gonna learn. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. I want to go to sleep. Je suis allé. Okay, or I'm leaving. Okay, or I'm going to bed. I'm gonna dormir. Or you want to buy a pair of shoes. Combien la soulier? How much is the price of the shoe? Combien mean how much is the soulier, which is the shoe? How much is the dress, the robe? You're going to learn some of the language because you're going to go to Togo. I'm not saying you're going to be so fluent, but you're going to have to ask for things like if you go into the market and you want to buy something, you're going to learn some of the language. You're going to learn to say hello. You're going to learn to say hi. You're going to learn some basic things. So at least when you go to the market and start opening your mouth and talk, you're not going to be talking English, because everybody's going to know that you're English. And so now they're going to start to charge you more. I'm not saying they should do that, but you should have be smart. And next thing is, bring a local person with you. Now, sometimes because we watch so much YouTube and we hear so much stuff, we think everybody's bad. Oh, I'm not gonna make friends with locals because these people are that and these people are that. Like, when you live the West, leave your Western attitude out there and do not carry it with you on the continent of Africa. People are people everywhere. Like I already said, there are bad people everywhere. There are good people everywhere. There's slimy people everywhere. There's sly people everywhere. There's all kind of people. So Everywhere you go, you're going to find these people. So, right? Now, if you're going to go to a country like Kenya or Tanzania where they speak Swahili, my friend, make sure you can speak some Swahili. For example, if you like to watch a lot of YouTube, you hear that when you go to Kenya or when you go to Tanzania, they like to overcharge you once you open your mouth and start to speak. Well, use your senses now. Use your brain. Like I said, I'm not saying that they should do that to you, but start to learn the language. A lot of you are in these countries and you cannot speak a word of Swahili or you can't speak a word of French. Not a word. Now, if you're going to go to Tanzania, learn to say hello. Learn to ask somebody if you want to buy something or where something is or to have a little conversation. If you're going to go to the market and you want to buy stuff, learn how to say certain stuff. If you want to say, how much is this? Hini kis, sorry. Hini kiasi gani. Or you can just say kiasi gani. How much is this? Okay? Hini kiasi gani. You're asking somebody, how much is this is this? That's a simple phrase that you can learn. Why are you not learning it? But if you open your mouth and speak English, and most of the people there, they don't speak English. So right away, they know you're a foreigner. And if they have this negative vibe and negative attitude, of course, they're going to charge you. You're going to buy a bottle of water. Learn that. Nakata mbili tafahali. You want to learn about the fruits. Mango is embe. You want to learn about different fruits. You sit there and you learn the fruit. Nakata embe. I want a mango. Okay? Nakata tikitamaji. I want watermelon. You see, it's like I know I'm gonna go live on a continent of Africa. So I'm learning, I'm brushing up on my French, I'm brushing up on my Swahili, so I can have a basic conversation with somebody. You understand? I need to learn all the things that I'm going to interact with at the same time. So for example, if I want like something like something simple as like corn. Corn is something that they use a lot out there in Tanzania or in Kenya. So learn the word for corn, mahindi, kiasi gani mahindi. Okay? Learn the word for corn. Learn the word for oil. The word for oil is mafuta. Right? Learn mafuta. You understand the word for mafuta? Sorry, mafuta. You know, it's like learn those things. You want to go to the market, you want one thing. Nipe moja tafahali. Like learn those things. Like you have sense. Learn those things so you can say a couple of words and you can blend in. Another point is people say like, oh, well, when I go to the continent of Africa, they don't think I am like them. It's true. They don't think you're like them because you're not trying to immerse yourself in culture. And that is what I am saying. Like, if you're going to go there and that's a place where you want to live, you want to spend a long period of time, why won't you invest in what is happening in the country? Why don't you invest in the language? You go there, you see an old person, you want to say hi, shikamo. You're going to greet a person, an old person, shikamo. They're going to answer you, marahaba. You understand? Things like that. You're not going to say, hi, baby. You need to learn that when you meet a person that is older and you're like an elderly person, you're going to say, shikamo, right? It means, can I kiss your feet? That's what it means, shikamo. And then when they say mahaba, they say, I accept you. That's what it means, mahaba. You know? So things like that you learn. When you go there and you say that, people say, oh, maybe she's a foreigner, but she's, you know, she's a culture. Because they will call you a foreigner because they don't know better. But when they realize who you are and they see the effort that you're making, you're going to be included. But you just can't go over there and just expect people to accept you just like that without making the effort. Yeah, I know slavery happened. I know we scattered all over the world because of slavery, but you still have to make a real effort to incorporate yourself among the people there. So if you're gonna move to Kenya, learn Swahili. Kiasi gani? How much is this? How much is this? Embe. Okay. How much is this mahindi? How much is this corn? Okay. Kiasi gani mahindi. Okay. You want to buy food? Ask kiasi gani and whatever food you want to buy. Ketchup. You understand what I'm saying? You want to buy bananas. You want to buy rice, chile. You want to buy macaroni, tambi, whatever you want to buy. Learn the word for it so you can be able to communicate with people. You go and make somebody cooking outside, you know, you want to ask a little question. What are you cooking? Una pica nini. Oh, una pica nini, mama. You know, so you wanna have a little conversation. People like when you learn the language. Okay, moving on. Now, let's talk about housing. I saw many videos where people talk about housing, but my husband had traveled on the continent of Africa last year, and some of the things that they're saying, it's true. So when you go there to rent a place, if the landlord knows that you're from the West, you're a diaspora, they will hike the price up. That's what they do. And I said, that's dishonesty already. Very dishonest. But if you want to go beyond that and you don't want them to hike up the price, bring a local person with you. Let the local person do the transaction for you, help you out. It's not going to hurt to pay somebody $10 or $20 to help you out to do something. First of all, you are providing a job at this moment, whether it be 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, whatever, how long it's going to take you to find this house. You are providing a local job for this person who may not have a job. Some of us are too stingy. That is why certain things happen to us. Too stingy. You can't pay $10 or $20 to somebody to help you out. You know, do the thing what is right. Do what is right. Don't be so stingy. I know not all of us have a lot of money, but you do have $10 or $20 for somebody to help you out. Like, people are complaining a lot about, oh, they overcharge me, oh, they this, oh, they that. But since you know they do that, take measures so that won't happen to you. Take measures so that won't happen to you. It's like my husband were renting a house before they leave here, before they leave Canada. And he didn't tell the lady that he was from Canada and he was coming to rent a place. No, he just said, I want to rent a place, blah, 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 blah. We do our research online. And then he called up the person and said, my name is XYZ and I would like to rent your place. That's it and that's all. Sometimes we're too like silly and not wise when we do certain things. Like, you don't have to say that, oh, I'm Canadian, I'm American, I'm Asian, I'm this and that. No, I come from Asia, I come from Europe, I come from UK. Why? No, you don't have to say that. I want to rent a place and that's it. Don't give out too much information that is not necessary. Something else that my husband also found out when he was there was there's one price for people who are considered foreigners and people who are considered locals. So, for example, they were taking a ferry from one place to the next, and there was a big sign for the price which says foreigners, locals, that price. Two different prices. And the price for the locals was like low. It was like maybe $10 or something like that for the local people. And for visitors and stuff like that, it was like almost like $80 or $70. So it's like an outrageous price for the other people, which was like really, really crazy. Also, like some of the safaris and some of the places, just simple like national parks and things, the price is outrageous for visitors and non-residents. So these are some kind of things to expect. And sometimes some of us, we don't do research. We don't do research on things. Do researches on things So you're well versed. So you won't be crying, oh my gosh. Like prepare yourself if you're gonna go somewhere to live. Or you're gonna go somewhere for a long period of time for to relax yourself or to retire or something. Like do your research so you're not gonna be surprised and you're not gonna be shocked. Knowledge is power. The scripture says, my people die from lack of knowledge. And it's so true. So a lot of Black Americans are complaining and this and that and the other. Yes, we are unhappy because of the way they are treating us. But not everybody is treating us in that manner. Now, let me tell you guys another story. My husband was in one specific country. And the first week he got there, he went to the lady who washed clothes, like the washerwoman they call her. She washes clothes, and she did not know that he was from the West, right? She didn't know at all. So she charged him like the rate for washing the clothes, the local rate for washing clothes was very, very cheap. It was like maybe $5 or less than $5, something like that. And he paid her up front and everything like that. And she washes clothes and fold it up nicely and whatever. So after the week passed, and then he had a second load of laundry to wash, he took it back to the same lady to wash the clothes. By that time now, the lady, she knew that he was not a local person. And she started charging him by the piece of clothes, by every single piece of clothes. She said, oh, the shirt is this money, the socks is this money, that is that money. You know what I'm saying? And he said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to allow you to wash my clothes. I'll wash my own clothes. I'll find somebody else to wash my clothes, And that is what I'm talking about, like dishonesty. This is total dishonesty. From charging $5, which is like the local price, to charging per piece of clothes because you find out the person is not a local. No, this is dishonest behavior. And I want to say that to my African people out there. My brothers and sisters out there, you guys are our brothers and sisters. And you got to stop this dishonesty. It's just dishonesty and unrighteousness. It is unrighteous. Why would you want to do that to your fellow men or to any single person in the entire world? Why would you want to be dishonest to them? It's just not right. And the funny thing about it is some of these people who are doing that stuff, they say they're Christians, they go to church, and yet they're dishonest to their brothers and sisters, charging them this exorbitant prices. This is crazy. And so that all happened in the laundry story. And of course, my husband was very disappointed, when he saw that kind of behavior. And maybe he would have even give her the clothes to wash if she had said, okay, I'm going to charge you $10, but she was just like, she just wanted to extort buddy to like a high degree. So if your clothes is $5 now for the entire bunch of clothes, and then now she start charging you for every piece of clothes. So she charge you like $2 per piece of clothes. So if you have 10 pieces of clothes, that's $20. If you have like 20 pieces of clothes, you understand what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. And it's not like you're going to charge somebody like $1 more or 50 cents more. It's like 2 or 3 or 4 times the price. Like they want to just grab everything from you. And that is so, I know how you call that, like a leechy tenacity. I don't know. It's like a bad way. You just can't take a small amount from the person. You have to just take, just take a lot of things from the person. It's like, this is like a kind of colonizer behavior, I'm going to go to Africa and I'm going to take all the silver, the gold, the this, the that, and I'm just going to take it in bulk. And this is the same attitude that some of our people on the continent of Africa have. And I want to say to you guys, just stop it. Just stop it. All right? We have been stolen and taken from our land. And some of you on the continent of Africa, those lands that you have belongs to the ancestors. These are ancestral lands that you're sitting on, right? And if these people were there, this land had to be shared with them. But I know it's a mix-up thing because it's, generations go way back. And if we had like high technology now, where we could be like testing people, because this technology they have, you can't trust them. They put in all kind of different people, mix up people that doesn't even like belong inside this testing thing, saying, oh, let's do ancestral DNA, let's do this. But you could only test people and see if they belong to a tribe or something if you have the original people that was there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people believe in the ancestral DNA and stuff like that, but do they have the original people who were there from 400 years ago to test their bone against yours? So I'm not for this testing of stuff, except if there's a real individual that you're going to test me against, a real live person or somebody who died, and you can actually use their bones to get the DNA or something like that. Like say for example, if I want to know I am from Nigeria, then okay, find me some kind of Nigerian people and see how we relate to each other. How does our DNA match? Do you have any chromosomes that is alike or whatever? Find someone like that. But this general thing, I'm not really trusting in it, you know? Now, another thing that African Americans are complaining about is registering your business. Now, I don't know if you know the prices of how much to register a business on the continent of Africa, depending on the country that you're in. So you can pay from $800 up to $2,500 to register like a business. And so people are complaining and say, oh, that's a lot of money. It should be lower. I think so too. I think it should be lower for people, diasporas who are coming back home. I think it should be lower, maybe $500, maybe $600. But I think like $1,500, $1,000, like it's a lot, because not everybody has that amount of money. Not everybody has an amount of money. People are really struggling out here, and they may have saved up their money, and they maybe, have a little money that they come with, and it's just too much. The prices that they want diaspora people to pay, I just find it just exorbitant, and it's too much. Like right now, in the place that I'm going to go to, for me to continue my business there, I have to pay 1,500 USD just to open the, well, I mean, it covers everything to open, register, all that kind of stuff. That's 1,500 USD. So that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. So people are complaining about it. And I think the prices should be lower. It should be lower. Something else that people are complaining about is rental places. So this is a big problem, because when you go to rent somewhere, they have a local price. And for you to get that local price, you need to bring somebody local with you to get that price. And it's a shame that you have to use somebody else to rent a place for you because of this high price business. I heard somebody said that they were going to rent a place and the person is charging them like twice the amount for the place. But then the local person says, no, that's not the price. Don't take it, because that's not the local price. When my husband was there, he had somebody negotiate for him the price of where they were staying, and it was local price, so it was very, very cheap. So as I said again, it's a shame, because like the first place that we tried to rent, it fell through because the lady herself was very dishonest. And she said that the place, we asked for like a place that is close to the sea, the ocean, because we want to be close to the ocean so we can swim, because we like to swim, and we want it to be close to a certain place because that's where we're going, and stuff like that. And she said, okay, the place is going to be ready, XYZ, blah, 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 and pay a deposit and whatever, which we did. And a couple of weeks later, we start looking up certain places to see like, oh, what is close to there and whatever. And then we realized that the place that she was saying that she's gonna rent to us was a lie. This place that she's gonna rent to us is like, there's no way close to the beach. Like, people sometimes they send you addresses, or they lie and say a property belongs to them and it does not belong to them. And that is why, if you're going to rent something, It's good to be in person, go there and rent it. So then when we confronted her, she's like, she made an excuse and said, "Oh, the place is not going to be ready by the time." So we ended up getting back our money. We did get back our money, but again, we didn't pay like the whole thousands of dollars that to. Can you imagine paying that to somebody who you don't even know, and then you lose all your money? It was just like a small deposit, so we was able to get it that, and it was through a company, so we was able to get that money back. So we was not going to pay like the full thing until we get there. But anyways, so when my husband got there, then he was able to get somewhere else to stay, which is very, very, very nice and very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. So things like that, Black Americans have to be thinking on those lines. Nobody wants to be treated unfairly. Nobody wants to spend more money than they have to spend. And nobody wants to deal with dishonest people. That's not something that anybody's going to please about. No one is going to be pleased about that, you know? So, but we have to do our own research also. We can't just go over there and say, okay, I'm going to the continent of Africa. And then when you get there, you're crying about it. Like, no. Don't be like a simpleton. Don't be like a simple person. Like, do your research, find out information. Like, if you're going to go to Kenya, for example, when you want to go to Kenya, stay in a hotel for a couple of days, rent a Airbnb or something. They have beautiful places there, you know, like rent a place for for a week or something, and then you can go around and look for the place that you want to stay in. But don't be renting something from here, because it could be all a lie. Like I told you guys, it could be all a lie that this woman is advertising her place is like close to the beach and walking distance from this and that, and this is not even her place. You know what I'm saying? So people do lie a lot because they want your money. And some of you get scammed because you're so eager to go somewhere because you're in such like dire distress. You want to get away from the West, but be smart and be wise about it, you know? And like I said, the language, it's very, very important. Whatever country that you're going to, if they speak a foreign language, for the love of God, learn the language. Learn the basic. Learn something. Do not be going to a country and you don't know the language. It just is not beneficial to you. It's going to be a negative, and every time you open your mouth, you speaking a different language, it's like, you know, it's like you kind of stick out in a way. You really do stick out. And so that is why I'm learning my French. I'm learning Swahili because I'm going to be on the continent of Africa. And so I need to know those language. I need to know them. I speak French here already, but I need to upgrade. You know, I need to make my French more stronger because I want to visit Togo. I want to visit Kenya. I want to go to a lot of the different countries in on the African continent. Even I was thinking about learning some tree. You know, the tree language. I'm learning a couple of words in them because I'm like, okay, I want to be able to ask something if they speak that language there. You know, I want to be able to communicate with the locals, and I don't understand why people moving somewhere and they don't learn the language. It's just strange to me, strange. But what I want to say to my fellow brothers and sisters who are on the continent of Africa, if any of you well, I have a lot of subscribers from the continent of Africa who watch my videos on my live. I want to say to you guys, be honest. Honesty is the best policy. You cannot continue life cheating people. It doesn't matter who they are. You cannot continue cheating people. You cannot think it's okay to cheat your local people who you grew up with, who you see every day, and then it's okay to cheat diasporas. That is wrong. And you guys just have to stop that. Stop it. Stop cheating diasporas when they come back. Give them the price as it is. Be nice and treat people the way you want to be treated. It doesn't matter who they are. But us diaspora people, we are coming home because Africa is our home. Out here in the West is not our home. We have missed out on a lot from being out here in the West. We have missed out a lot. We have suffered. We have gone through aches and pains and trauma and so much things out here. And we have not gotten any justice. We have not gotten any judgment. And every day they treat us like nothing. But remember, I want to tell you guys, we were happy on the continent of Africa, enjoying our lives. We were not just slaves. We were kings and queens. We had homes and lands and money and all the good jazz. Now we see Africa, in some places of Africa, that is destitute. People are hungry. We see all this food shortage and all that kind of stuff. But this is not the Africa that our ancestors know. Our ancestors knew a rich Africa blooming with riches and abundance. And the West have come and taken that away, has robbed and snatched and greed and all that kind of stuff, and has just taken, deplete our resources. But I want to tell you guys that we are coming back to restore our land, to bring unity, to bring friendship, to bring oneness, and to restore the land that we came from. We're not coming back to steal anything, because this is our land. We cannot steal from ourselves. So some of you Africans out there who's saying, oh, you people are coming here to take our jobs, like, cut that out. We're not there for that. We're there to build unity, to strengthen the brotherhood and the sisterhood. Because what you guys don't realize is the West and those colonizers have put us against each other for a purpose, so that we would not come together as a unified body to build up ourselves. And you guys got to get smart. Wake up and smell the coffee, my friends. Wake up. All of us, we're coming home. We are coming home. We are coming home, right? That's what we're going to do. We're coming home. And those of you who are a little bit lagging behind, we're going to have to drag you along with us, because we need to be together to make it together. All this brainwashing that they done to us, we're going to unbrainwash ourselves. All this colonizing, they have colonized our minds, we're going to decolonize ourselves. And together, we're going to make Africa great again. We're going to rise up our people. We're going to bring back the land to the way it was. And we are going to conquer all this wickedness. And we are going to wash this land, right? And we're going to make our ancestors proud. Because I am telling you, the blood of our ancestors is crying out to a lot of you saying things, but you're not listening. Listen to the blood of your ancestors. A lot of blood has been shed. And when most people say when they step on the continent of Africa, it's like something, like they're washed clean. It's like they feel so different. It's your ancestors. They're happy that you're there. And they hope that you would change the narrative. So guys, let's change the narrative and let's make Africa better. Let's bring back Africa to great abundance and to the riches that it had before. So guys, thank you for coming to the live. I hope you guys are well, and I will see you in the next live. Take care. Bye-bye.